Hi, friends. Welcome to the first official lesson of our animals and habitats domain. And I'm hoping that you were able to listen to the read aloud yesterday. Wonderful Nature, Wonderful You, that took us through many of the habitats of different animals. And we kind of talked about what they all needed in order to survive and thrive. So, before we get started in this lesson, we're going to start out with a really short video that is going to introduce the topic to us in the domain. And I want you to think about what animals need to thrive and survive. And then I want you to think about what you need in order to survive and thrive. What do you need to be a healthy little human being? And I also want you to think about what kinds of homes are good for different kind of animals. For instance, do all animals live in the same habitat with the same type of shelter? Are you going to find penguins in the desert? I think that would be I think that would be pretty funny. And the last thing that I want you to think about is living things and non living things. How do you know if something is alive? How do you know if it's living or non living? So, we're going to be talking about those things first. But let's quickly take a listen to the short 3-minute video on our new domain, animals and their habitats. Let's listen carefully.
This is where the realtor said we should meet her so that we can go look for our new home. But why did she ask us to meet her on the beach?
Where else would we meet? How are you two? I'm your new realtor.
Oh, hi. Really good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. You seem like great folks. I think you're going to be great first human clients for me.
Wait, did you say you never worked with humans before?
Yep, but don't worry. I can't wait to show you the great homes I have to offer. Now here's one I know you're going to love. The tropical rainforest. What do you think of those high ceilings? That's the canopy way up there. The trees grow so close together that almost no light gets in. It makes it really shady.
Well, this is very pretty, but it's also a little dark and kind of creepy.
What do you mean, creepy? The rainforest is one of the friendliest places on Earth. Just look at all these neighbors you'll have.
I mean, do you have anything less crowded?
Oh, sure. No problem. How's this? Not too many neighbors in the Arctic Ocean.
It's cold.
That's what makes it so exclusive. The Arctic Ocean is so cold that only the coolest creatures have adapted to live in it, like these walruses. They're covered in blubber to keep them warm in this freezing ocean.
But, but, but we're not walruses. Could you show us something warmer, please?
Oh, right. Good thinking. Here we are in the Sonoran Desert in northwestern Mexico. Definitely not too cold here.
Listen, I'm a little worried you've been showing us a lot of habitats that don't really seem right for humans. Every living thing, including humans, needs food, water, and shelter, right? But I don't see any water here for us.
There's plenty of water. See? Whenever it rains, this saguaro cactus stores up rainwater for later. You could do that too. It just takes some planning ahead.
We're not cacti! We're humans! We need a human habitat!
Okay. I think I get it. You want water, right? Hold on. This saltwater bay is my favorite property of them all. Saltwater provides a home to almost half the world's animal species. In fact, this is the neighborhood I live in myself. So, what do you think? Want me to get the paperwork ready?
We can't breathe here.
Oh, you'll probably adapt to that eventually.
Listen, we'll be in touch, all right?
I don't understand what I did wrong. This is the habitat I love to live in myself.
Land mammals. They just don't get it.
Oh, hey! Didn't see you there. I couldn't interest you in a nice new home, could I?
Okay, friends, so that was a really nice introduction to our new domain. So I'm hoping that you thought about what do animals need? What do you need? The two humans in that video spoke very, very specifically about three things that they need. Can you think about what those are? Can you whisper really loudly what they are? Oh, I heard two of them. Oh, there's the third. They need food, water, and shelter, someplace to protect them. And that goes for plants and animals. Very nice. Very nice. So, I need you to think about now things that are living and non living. Where did my document? Oh, there it is, living and non living. So, what I want you to do on a piece of paper or in your notebook, I want you to make it look just like this. And I want you to put the word living on the left hand side and non living on the right hand side and draw a line down. And what I would like you to do is, we're going to be doing this later, but I want you to write 1 through 5 on both sides. Whoops. 1 through 5 on both sides. Now you can have more than 5, but I really don't want you to have less than 5. And what we're going to do when this lesson is done is I'm going to have you go take a walk around your property or maybe your next recess, and I want you to make a list of 5 things that are alive and 5 things that are not alive. And they might not necessarily be dead, but they're just not alive. And I want you to try to be creative. They have to be different things. You can't write, I'm not going to give you any hints, but you can't write like 5 of the same things. But I also want you to think about, how do you know if they are living or non-living? I want you to be able to explain why they are living or non-living. All right. So pause the video here so that you can get a piece of paper, or your journal is fine, and make your 2 columns, living and non-living, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter what paper you do it on, but don't lose it. When you're done writing this, hit play again. I'll wait for you. Okay, well, before we do our first read aloud of what is a habitat, we have 3 vocabulary words that we have to go over. And I know these are pretty darn cute. So our first word is habitat. That's kind of a nice one. It at habitat. So a habitat is a place where an animal or plant normally lives and grows. So, for instance, if you have a pet python, I somehow do not think that a pet python is going to naturally live in Quilcene. You're not going to go out and find a python in the backyard unless somebody let one go. So a habitat is a place where an animal or plant normally lives and grows. And think about your habitat too. Okay, our second word is living. And there's a little baby here. He is definitely alive. Living means being alive or having life. So on the paper that I just explained to you about, you're going to have to figure out if something is alive or not. Alive or not. Okay. And our last word of the day is shelter. Shelter. So we learned that ER sound, so that shouldn't be new. Shelter. Nice job. So a shelter is something that protects from weather or danger. So if you think about a fish needing shelter, think about what a fish might need shelter from. Might it need shelter from fishermen? Might it need shelter from other fish? Might it need shelter from a bear trying to eat it in a stream? A shelter. So those are our three words: shelter, living, and habitat. So those are our three words that we're going to be focusing on today. Nice job. So, your job for listening today, as you learn what a habitat is you have to listen carefully and look at the pictures to find out more about why plants and animals live where they do. Okay. Why do plants and animals live where they do? And I am going to introduce you to an old friend of mine. His name is Rattenborough the Explorer. Rattenborough the Explorer. So here we go. And please remember to hit pause anytime you need a break. So if you need a break right now, if you need a snack, if you need to stretch your legs, right now would be the perfect time to go do that. Okay, friends, this is Rattenborough, and here we go. Greetings, fellow adventurers. You are here to learn something new, and believe it or not, I'm here to teach it to you. I know you may be wondering what you could possibly learn from a rat climbing out of a dumpster, but I am Rattenborough, the famous rat adventurer. I travel the world looking at plants and animals and all the different places they call home. I'm going to take you on a special adventure all around the world. Ooh, that sounds fun. You're going to learn about some amazing and incredible places and animals. And we're going to start our exciting journey right here. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's special to me and it has everything I need. Oh, friends, what do you think about that? Rattenborough's favorite habitat is a garbage dumpster. Oh my gosh. Maybe we'll find out why, because that's pretty yicky. Oh my goodness. Look at this first page. Wow. Let's close that up. Wow. Here we go. Welcome to my home. This is the alleyway where I live. Take a look around. What do you see? So, friends, I want you to take a good hard look at this alleyway. And what do you see? Why might Rattenborough have this as his home? Let's find out. There are trash cans, litter, boxes, drains, and dripping pipes, old buildings and gutters. It's a perfect home for a rat. It has everything that I need to live. All living things need food and water to survive. Remember, survive means to stay alive. Animals like me also need shelter. And remember, a shelter is something that protects from weather or danger. A house or an apartment can be a shelter, but a tree can be a shelter too. So animals need food, water, and shelter to stay alive. My yummy food comes from these trash cans and the litter on the street. My water comes from the gutters, drains, and pipes. And my family and I have a shelter down under some steps nearby. All of these things make up my habitat. A habitat is a place where an animal or plant lives that has food, water, and shelter. It's true that my home, the alleyway, is not considered a natural habitat. You're not going to find my alleyway home in nature like a forest or a pond. But with so many humans using up so much of the Earth's natural resources, some animals have been forced to survive in human made habitats. And that's like my habitat, boys and girls. It's human made. Animals and plants usually live in habitats that are just right for them. My alleyway is just right for me. Just as people can't live underwater or in the air, plants and animals can't all live in the same sorts of places either. You don't hear about elephants living near the North Pole on all that ice, and you definitely don't hear about polar bears living in the desert. Pumpkins don't grow in the sea, and fish don't live on trees. Oh, that would be really funny, wouldn't it, friends? Okay, let's take a look at our next picture. Oh my. We don't see many of these around here. Do you guys know what that is? Okay, let's find out. Looks like a drain pipe. Let's find out. Here comes Rattenborough. I can tell you firsthand that rats can't live just anywhere in the world. I don't like the weather to be too cold, and I need to live in a place where food is easy to find. That's why I like my cozy little shelter under the steps. It's warm enough for my family and me, and there is always plenty of water, and there's always a good supply of food in the trash can. Look, here we go. Oh, this looks familiar, doesn't it, you guys? Let's look around. You might have a park like this somewhere near your neighborhood. Tap your head if you know that you've got a place like this to play at. Oh, most definitely. So, friends, here the word park means a public area, like a place to exercise and play, not park your car. People like to spend time playing and relaxing in this park, but it's a habitat for many other things too. The grass, trees, flowers, and bushes in this park, they need food and water to live. Have you ever seen a park? What kinds of plants live in the park habitat in your neighborhood? So let's think about our playground at school. What kind of plants live in our playground park at school? The animals that live in the park share it as a habitat. That includes the pigeons that fly around looking for crumbs to eat, and the squirrels and the owls and the chipmunks that live in the trees, the bees and the fireflies and the mosquitoes buzzing around, and the raccoons and the opossums that come out at night, and even the frogs and the fish in the pond nearby. Okay, so friends, we saw Rattenborough's habitat and we kind of got an idea of a habitat in the park. So, where do you think that these animals might find food and water and shelter in the park? So, you've got the pigeon, the bird. Where might he get food and water? And squirrel? Food and water. What about the raccoon and the frogs? We have all of these animals that, let me shrink this down a little bit. We have all of these animals that live in our neighborhood, definitely. Okay, let's go to the next one. Wowza. What do you see in this picture? Wow, I see a lot of snow. This is a picture of a place called the Arctic. Can you say the Arctic? Arctic. Good, it has two syllables, Arctic. Do you think that you could easily live in the Arctic? It has very cold temperatures and a snow-covered ground. Not many things can live there, but later I'm going to show you some incredible plants and animals that live in the Arctic. Oh, wow, look at these different habitat friends. Oh my goodness. Most animals have to live in habitats that are very specific to them. But you humans are very clever. You can build habitats for yourselves. If you want to live in the desert where there isn't much water to drink or grow food, you can build a pipeline to bring you water for watering your crops or for drinking. You can have food transported to the desert by road or by train because it would be difficult to grow food in the desert. And you can build houses for shelter so you don't have to sleep in the sand. In fact, people like you have been able to live in extremely hot, extremely cold, and extremely dry places. Wow. Oh, I bet you all know where this is. So, a picture of our Earth. So, before Rattenborough comes back, here we are up here in Washington. And if you remember, this is the continent of North America, and this is the continent of South America. Very good. So, let's go back up here. We're going on an adventure that will take us all over our amazing planet Earth. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to show you some fascinating animal and plant habitats that might be quite different from yours. You'll see some wonderful and unusual places where things can live. Oh, and here's Rattenborough. Look, he's getting ready to go home for the night. I can't wait to show you all these interesting places. But first, I have a lot to pack. Because we're going all over the world, I'm going to need a backpack full of gear. So hold on to your whiskers, hats, and get ready for a marvelous adventure. Wow, friends, so that was a pretty cute story with Rattenborough. So again, I want you to think about what a habitat is, a place where an animal or plant lives that has food and water and shelter. So at first, I want you to think about where Rattenborough lives and maybe tell somebody who is there with you what is Rattenborough's habitat, what is his food, his water, and his shelter. And then I want you to think about why all plants and animals can't live all over the earth. Why can't all animals, plants live in the exact same spot? Why can't they do that? And then finally, I want you to describe your habitat. What is your habitat? Where do you get your food and water and shelter? So today I want to end with your taking your list of living and non-living things. And I want you to go outside and take a walk around, or maybe your next recess or lunch break, or maybe when your family is with you, go take a look around, and I want you to write down 5 things that are living and 5 things that are non-living. And I want you to be able to tell me how you know if they are alive or not alive. And I am looking forward to our next lesson, which is going to be animals of the Arctic habitat. And that is the picture of that snowy scene where it didn't look like anything could possibly live. So I want you to have a great afternoon, friends.